Hey everyone, how are you? It's Carrie Marie. This is a rare treat for Frank to come over like this when I'm making a video, so maybe he wants to say hello? Do you want to say hello? He's so sweet and so shy. Do you want to ask Papa? Did you want to say hi to everybody? Look, Papa. Papa? This is a signature nose bite. Those of you who follow my Facebook and Instagram, they know Frankie's a nose biter. He's a pretty boy. What's your deal? You want to go outside? There's your doggy door. Go outside, Bubba. Lay in the sun. Alright, well, I wanted to let him say hi because he doesn't generally pay much attention to the camera, so that was kind of nice. So, again, Carrie Marie, if you're just tuning in, a lot of you already know me or have subscribed to my channel. And if you've been following my channel, you know that I don't post like on any sort of regular basis or a schedule. Like some people do, like a weekly video, or bi-weekly or something like that. But I do a video when I feel like I have something valid to share. I'm not saying people who do regular videos don't have valid things. I'm just saying, for me, if I say I'm going to give you a new video every week or every month or 2 videos a week or something, then I start to feel like pressure, or like I have to like come up with material. And I have other things that I'm passionate about, so I would rather just wait for the inspiration and wait for the motivation to do it. And it's been a while. It's been at least a few months. I can't remember when I did the last one, but I've got a few that are going to be coming out this week. I made another one this weekend too, so I'll post them as I get them up and edited. You know that I don't spend much time editing, but yeah, there's a few things that you need to do, so I will get those going. But this is going to be an Ascension process update today, because I feel like so much has happened with our Ascension, and I have needed so much time, so much rest and time to integrate all of it. And like a lot of it, I have allergies right now. I can't even put into words a lot of what I feel is happening inside of me. And as we all know, what is happening inside of us is happening outside of us as well, on a bigger scale. So you may have heard this phrase before, but this has helped me a lot in my own ascension process, and that is that the microcosm, everything that happens to you in your life, or your day-to-day events, is a microcosm of the macrocosm, because you are actually a microcosm of the macrocosm, okay? So it's just like taking a piece of sand off the beach, okay? It's still the beach, it's all sand, it's all part of the same beach, but it's an individual piece of sand, or a cup of water out of the ocean, okay? But you can study that cup of water or that piece of sand and get the idea of the whole beach or the whole ocean, because it has the same properties, right? So that's how I look at it. It's helped me a lot, because that's how I read energy. Like, if I'm going about my day, I wake up in the morning, and you know those days you just feel amazing, and everything's just flowing, and everything is just on point. Well, generally, that's also happening on a grander scale. Okay, Now, I'm not saying it's happening for everybody, because we're going through a personal ascension process as well as a planetary one. So your progress in this, your experience in this, also depends upon how much inner work that you've done. And I want to talk about that too, because I feel like the inner work thing is so over, like, it's true, but it's said so often by so many people that it becomes like a cliche, and people think it's like this yogi thing where you're like, oh, you haven't done your inner work, you know? So I want to break that down a little bit too. So basically, since the equinox, spring equinox, that was on March 20th, we're in a whole new level, a whole new tier of energy, okay? There were decisions made behind the scenes to separate the timelines quicker at that point, okay? So the timelines, sorry, I just need the chair that this is on. The timelines, I don't know if you already know this by now. If you're interested in my material, you probably already do realize that reality is multidimensional, and there are different timelines playing out. There are parallel realities. This reality right in front of you, the one you're living with your physical body, your perception, is only one thing that's going on. It is like where your consciousness is most focused, okay? But, like, some of us are ascending, so we're focusing on, our consciousness is focused on a higher dimension, or higher frequency, higher dimension, and therefore we're starting to tune into a different dimension, which is making our experience a new reality. Okay, so since the 20th, things have been quite different. Some of you may have felt it, but you can't put your finger on it. You can't put words to it. So so many things have been removed that were like obstacles for us. Okay, obstacles for us to manifest, to create, because on this planet there has been a lot of controls placed upon us by beings that don't have a good agenda, okay? And that is like kind of a judgment. But what I'm saying is they're just not playing, they're not ready to return to the light. So they're playing in the dark aspects, and they would like to keep a lot of us in the lower dimensions with them as a food source, okay? Because they feed on the energy of people who are still connected to Source, because they're not right now. I mean, you can never not be connected to Source, but they're like at the furthest point, farthest away, okay? It's as if they're not connected. They don't have direct access internally to Source like we do. Because they're choosing it, okay? There's no victims here. This is what they're actually choosing, their level of evolution. However, a lot of us have been ready for a long time to move out of the third dimension, and believe it or not, the third dimension is not really in existence anymore here on this planet, because Earth is also called Gaia. Gaia is the soul name of Earth, so everyone has a name, but your soul also has a name, your spirit, and Gaia is the name of Earth's spirit. So she has her own consciousness and her own free will, and has become eligible to ascend out of the third dimension to the fifth dimension, okay? So right now, so basically like around March 27th it was, she was able to fully hard to explain, but like she was able, Earth is fully in the fifth dimensional bandwidth now, okay, if you will. And the third dimension, she's not going to be hosting. This planet will not be hosting a third dimensional experience any longer. So for anyone who's still of third dimensional consciousness, they're going to have to leave the planet through a death experience, but there is no death, and reincarnate elsewhere to a planet that matches their frequency and their level of evolution and experience of what they need to do. Because they need to learn certain lessons in order to advance, okay? It's just like going to school. Like, they're being held back or whatever. But it's not held back. I don't want you to see it like that, because they're still evolving. They still learn the lessons no matter what, and they'll carry, you don't start over. They'll begin from that point of consciousness, which is further, I would think, would have to be further than they were. But sometimes I'm just like, it's so much, it's like hard to explain. But so some of us, like myself, are already higher dimensional beings. Okay, and I have not known this my whole life. Like, I knew I was different, but I didn't consciously understand why or what all that meant until I was an adult. But like, some of us have already graduated to higher dimensions before and are now back, like have come back down, went back down into the third voluntarily to assist others in their ascension and assist the Earth in her ascension to the fifth dimension. So like, we came back out of love for humanity and for this planet, but it has not been an easy process. It's particularly hard if you are used to residing in the higher dimensions, which is like love, peace, and unity, and it's such a shock to the soul when you find yourself in a third dimensional experience. But so we've been like ready to get the fuck out of here for a long time. Like, I've been crying to go home since I was a kid. Everybody's like, "You are home." I've said this before in my videos, but it all makes sense now. I'm like, that's why I was like, no, this is not my home. I want to go home and stuff like that. But I'm happy to report that I basically am home now. I mean, in my consciousness, and it's been like, it's just been amazing. Like, I know there's still so much to be revealed because we've created the new Earth on the etheric level, and it is revealing itself to us daily, but eventually it's just going to be, we've chosen to forget how wonderful it is with these helmets, these brains that we put on to be here, so that we could surprise ourselves when we finally shift to New Earth, and we could just have an amazing surprise and a celebration. So, but I feel it already inside is what I'm saying. Like, no, my life, like, I still have whatever challenges and stuff, but for the most part, my consciousness has reached back to the higher dimensions fully, and my manifesting abilities have been amazing, super easy. Like, it's just natural. It feels normal. It feels like home to me, because where the memories that I carry inside is where all your needs are taken care of, and if you desire something, you just intend and see it and feel it in your heart, and you forget about it, and it shows up. So I've just been experiencing that more and more, especially since going vegan a couple years ago. I don't want to make this too long, because I know most people are like, they want to see the 10-minute or less video, so maybe I'll make 2 parts. But so yeah, we're in a whole new ball game. It's just there for you to choose. It's just there. It literally is there for you to take. If you're still in my reality and you're still drawn to the information I'm putting out, there's a pretty good chance that you are headed to the new Earth, to the fifth dimension. well, there's not a pretty good chance you are, or else I don't think you'd be tuned in to me. But I'm here to now, like, my role has changed. It used to be to try to, like, wake people up and, you know, help them, like, wake up to their higher reality. And I don't really have the passion for that. Like, not the passion, but that, you know, that doesn't drive me anymore, which lets me know internally that my role has shifted along with this energy. And now I feel like what I'm here to do is to just assist the people who are already awake and or like they're, you know, but they might have just woke up or whatever, or, you know, I have some of the answers that they need. But like, I want to help those people now raise their frequency as quickly as possible and overcome those limiting beliefs and those emotional wounds that might still be keeping them. I don't think they're vibrating at a third dimensional consciousness anymore, but they could still be in the fourth, you know, the lower fourth. So, like, I don't have all the perfect answers. You know, people ask me questions sometimes. Most of what I know is, like, I feel it inside, and I try to articulate it out. I don't know that I always do the best.